Hello everyone, my name is Rochelle Ann, your host for today's Culture Talks, a podcast where we explore different cultures and ethnic groups in the Philippines. For today's episode, we will interview our guest researcher tungkol sa isa sa pinaka-unique na indigenous communities, ang Badjao people. Let's welcome our guest. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello po, I am Wilson Ching and today I will be sharing information about history, traditions, and culture changes of the Badjao people.
So first question, sino ang Badjao people?
Ang Badjao people ay isang indigenous ethnic group na matatagpuan sa southern Philippines, especially sa Tawi-Tawi, Sulu, or Zamboanga. Kilala din sila bilang sea nomads dahil traditionally sa dagat sila nakatira.
Totoo bang sa bangka sila nakatira noon?
Yes, naninirahan sila sa bangkang tinatawag lepa-lepa. Dito sila kumakain, natutulog, at nagtatrabaho.
So, masasabi nating ang dagat ang sentro ng kanilang buhay?
Exactly. Their identity, livelihood, and tradition are strongly connected to the ocean.
Okay.
Game.
So, next naman, pag-usapan naman natin ng culture and traditions. Ano naman ang pangunahing kultura at traditions ng Badjao?
Una, very strong ang family ties nila. Cooperative din ang kanilang community lifestyle.
Ano naman ang kanilang kabuhayan?
Mostly fishing, pearl diving, paggawa ng bangka at sea trading. Kilala din ng Badjao sa kanilang diving skills. Kaya nilang sumisid without modern equipment.
Interesting. May traditional dances ba sila?
Yes, meron. Isa sa famous dances nila ay ang pagsayaw ng pangalay dance, na ginagaya ang movement ng alon ng dagat gamit ang elegant hand movement.
How about religion and beliefs?
Karamihan sa Badjao ay Muslim, pero ang traditional beliefs nila ay tungkol sa nature at sea spirit.
Okay. How has modernization affected the Badjao people?
Dahil sa conflict, climate change, economic challenges, maraming Badjao lumipat sa coastal cities at urban areas.
So, hindi na sila purely sea-based ngayon?
Yes, somehow now live on land, work on tourism and self-craft, or perform cultural dances for their livelihood.
May challenges din ba silang kinakaharap ngayon?
Yes, marami pa rin nakakaranas ng poverty, discrimination at pagkawalang traditional practices.
Pero may efforts ba para ma-preserve ang culture nila?
Meron, may mga NGOs at cultural groups na tumutulong sa education, cultural preservation, at community development.
Thank you so much to our guest for sharing knowledge about the Badjao people.
Thank you din for inviting me.
And thank you sa lahat ng listeners. This has been Culture Talks. See you next episode.
Paggapon!
Hi everyone, I am Ivy Hornales and welcome to episode 2 of our podcast. So, welcome for today's podcast. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine waking up not to the sound of cars, but to the sound of waves gently hitting wood. Imagine your house floating on the sea. For the Badjao people, this is real life. The Badjao, also known as the Sama Badjao, are often called the children of the sea. Unlike most families, traditionally lived on boats or in houses built in stilts above the water. The ocean is not just around them, it's part of who they are. You can find many Badjao communities in the southern Philippines, especially Tawi-Tawi, Sulu, and parts of the Zamboanga city. Some have also moved to other cities to find better opportunities. One of the most amazing things about the Badjao is their diving ability. From a young age, children learn how to swim and dive deeply into the sea. They can stay underwater and for a long time without modern equipment. They catch fish, sea cucumbers, and sometimes pearls. The sea is their market, their workplace, and their playground. Their culture is colorful and expressive. During celebrations, like weddings, they wear bright clothes and detailed designs. Music and dance are important parts of their traditions. The rhythm of their drums and gongs often sound like the movement of the waves. So their dances sometimes copy the flowing motion of the ocean, showing how connected they are to the nature. So family is the center of the but I mean family is the center of Bajau life. They respect elders and pass down their stories and skills from one generation to another. Many Bajau are Muslims, especially those living near Muslim communities in Mindanao. And their faith is also part of their daily life. But life is not always easy for the Bajau. Many face poverty, lack of education, and discrimination. Some people misunderstand them because their lifestyle is different. But being different is not always that bad. So climate change and modernization also make it harder for them to continue their traditional sea-based way of living. Even with these challenges, the Bajau continue to survive and protect their culture. They remind us of that being Filipino is not just one story, it is many stories combined. Their life teaches us about resilience, simplicity, and deep respect for nature. So, next time you see the ocean, remember for some people, it is not just a water, it is home. So, thank you for listening, and Rowie will discuss the history of the Pajau people, etc. Thank you for listening.
Hi, let's talk about the history of the Banjao people. But before that, let's talk about what we do know about the Banjao people and what we see of them as of today. Because what we do usually think about the Banjao people is like yung mga namamalimos sa mga jeep, sa ano, so in major cities, lalo na sa Manila, and dumadami sila doon. And mga laging inaano sa kanila is mga namamalimos, mga di naliligo, madudumi, like, and yung usual na tingin sa kanila is like mga may hirap, ganyan. Which they did not start out like that. Ang simula. Their origins dates back from 1500 years ago, to give or take, and they have a very diverse origin. Some came from here sa Pilipinas, and then some from Indonesia, Malaysia, and all sorts of other places and countries here in the Southeast Asia. Yan. They were seafarers or sea nomads. Kumbaga, they thrive off of fishing. To be specific, spear fishing. They dive deep underwaters and spear fishes for a living. And binebenta nila yon sa inland, sa mga cities doon, kung ano yung mga nahuhuli nila. and they live off they lived in boat houses, like directly sa sea sila nakatira. That's uh, their that's their origins, kumbaga. But then around the 1960s, um, lumaganap ang piracy, which yung pamimirata. So they lived in dangerous waters na nun, so they had to move closer to the inland. Mas safe silang makapag fish, para mas safe silang makapag fish. So then they lived off of houses suspended sa in coastal waters. They live just above sea waters, kumbaga. So yan, dun nag-start na mag-move sila inland, which and where nagsisimula na silang mawalan ng trabaho dahil nga sa piracy, which is dangerous waters. So hindi na nila kaya mag-go deeper sa in the sea. So they move deeper into the cities, which and where which they have less opportunities to be had, since they were very uneducated at the time. So what they had to resort to was ayun, yung pamamalimos nila. So at that time, since nga uneducated sila, mahirap silang makakuha ng trabaho. So they had to go find some other way aside from fishing. Na-discover nila na pwede silang mamalimos in major cities, sa mga palengke, ganyan. Doon nag-start na na-discover nila na madali lang. So and nabibigyan sila doon. So ayun, they live off of that. Especially in 2005, where yung community nila near the coast and beaches, yung community nila doon is nasunugan. That's why they moved even more inland, which like nawalan sila ng trabaho sa pangingisda nila, and that's why to this day we mostly see them in cities namamalimos, and like nababalita pa nga na ang laki ng mga nakikita nila sa araw-araw. Yan lang. Thank you.
This is the only country in the world that has no land borders. Its inhabitants are never allowed to leave the sea or their boats for their entire lives. They are the Bajau people, who live in the waters between Indonesia and Malaysia. Because of this lifestyle, they have no nationality and are known as the last true sea nomads of the world. Fish is their primary source of food. To minimize the impact of high pressure on their bodies while diving, the Bajau have evolved to pierce their eardrums at a young age. This adaptation allows them to dive to depths of 30 meters or more without any diving equipment. Even after spending an entire day in the water, they do not feel tired. The eyes of the Bajau are also different from ours. They can open their eyes underwater without blurring their vision, which helps them clearly spot prey beneath the surface. For this reason, they are often referred to as the sea nomads.